Before we start today's video, I just want to remind you guys that my membership FromTheField.farm is open for registration up until July 19th. And I'm going to be doing a YouTube live session this Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And what this session is going to be my live Q&As that I do each week for my From the Field members. So what I'm actually going to try for the next little while is doing them live. So what I do for the membership site is I take questions from members every single week, and I usually just record it as a podcast. I do it in the morning on Thursday, and then it publishes on Friday. So instead of me pre-recording it, editing it, and posting it to the membership site, I'm just going to post it on YouTube, but I'm only taking questions from the members. So I have all these questions that I put into a document. I'm going to answer them, and then if there's time left over, I'll kind of prioritize super chats, and then if there's time left over, just go to open questions. But I'll aim to not do it for more than an hour. So that'll be tomorrow, Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to try doing that every week for the next few Thursdays. There's a couple Thursdays where I have to travel, where I can't do it, but that's what we're going to do. So join me there. Today's video is at Bellwood, Ontario at Salad Days Farm, and this is a brilliant little self-help farm stand that you're going to see Paula here explaining it. But they've set this stand up. It's got a walk-in, a small, like sort of not walk-in cooler, but a sort of stand-up cooler like you see in convenience stores, and they got the produce laid out, and it's close to the road, and it's a relatively small community where, you know, there's a fair high level of trust in the area, so they haven't had any problems with theft, and people just put money in the box and take the produce. And I think this would be a great thing for a lot of farmers to do if it suits your context. So enjoy this one.
Stuff like that. But so far we haven't really had any issues with the self-serve aspect. People ask me that a lot, like, oh, do people steal things? And I mean, knock on wood, we've never really had any issues. Like, we do have a box that has, like, that we put a lock on, and there's just a slot for people to leave their money. And I mean, I've never really noticed any major discrepancies when I look at what vegetables are missing and how much money is in the box. I've never really had any shocking surprises. The biggest surprise I get is I'll get people who just want to, like, dump all of their change in there. So I'll open it, and instead of, you know, a $5 bill, there's like a heap of like nickels and dimes, which is fine. Money's money, but you know, it just means that I'm like rolling coins and stuff. But it's not set up right now, but we do have like a nice little display fridge that we put in that corner, and we just run an extension cord from the house. I think eventually maybe we'll run some power out here, because we do have like some lights and stuff strung up. Kind of makes it look cute. But the display fridge, so one of the biggest challenges with this is that you put produce out, it's, you know, it's the middle of July or August. You can't really put a lot of greens out. Like, you can't put your bunches of kale and chard because they're obviously going to wilt after, you know, an hour. So we were having trouble keeping things looking fresh. Like, it's great when you have tomatoes and peppers and zucchini, you can put those things out on display and they look really nice and they hold up more or less. But we were having trouble with a lot of other stuff, so we said, hey, you know what, let's try putting a fridge, and then we can keep stuff out, you know, all the time. And I mean, so far that's been working fairly well. We've been toying around with like what hours or days work best. So like originally it used to just be open like Friday afternoons and then like on weekends. Now that we have the fridge, there's some stuff that's out there all week, and mostly it's just neighbors and people that know that it's there that come by and get it. And then it's not really until the weekends when we really like fill the whole thing up that we get a lot more people. You know, when we put the signs out, we get a lot more people coming by. So I mean, we haven't really fine-tuned it, but it's a nice way to sell extra stuff that you've got kicking around. Like when we get back from the farmer's market on Saturday, if we still have, you know, a bit of stuff left and we want to sell it somewhere, we put it out here, and sometimes by the end of the weekend it's gone. So there's not really a lot of wasted produce.
That's awesome. So where does that cooler goes in the corner there?
Yeah, so the fridge, it's in the house right now because we moved it inside for winter. But yeah, it's, you know, about yay high, and it's got like a glass front. And yeah, so we can put like our salad greens in there. And you know, there's not much on the board right now, but any sort of like farm events, if anything's going on, information about the CSA, we've got our bulletin board there. The blackboard, we just write prices for things, and we're using it now for temporary straw storage. Awesome. But yeah, like I said, it's held up. We get really high winds here, and so far this thing hasn't like flipped over. We had a little bit of damage on the roof one year, but
yeah, we
were able to patch it up. And I don't know, we've often contemplated if we'll ever expand this and maybe do more farm gate type sales. But is to be decided.
I imagine it's nowhere near like what you would do at farmers markets or anything like that.
No, I mean, like a good weekend for us is maybe a few $100s. Like it's
from this,
yeah. So like over the course of the season, it probably only adds up to like a few extra $1,000, but right. It's fairly minimal effort. And like I said, if it's mostly produce that was probably going to go to waste because it was left over from something else. I mean, when I say leftover, it's not like we put out stuff that doesn't look good or isn't fresh, but you always have, you know, it's really hard to sell every last bunch of carrots that you have, and
absolutely
might as well find another place to distribute it. So
totally, that's great. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that, check out Salad Days Farm. I'll leave the Instagram handle for them in the show notes, and join me tomorrow on Thursday for our my From the Field Q&A video podcast that I'm just going to do live on YouTube. So maybe I'll see you there. Take care.